Hi everyone and welcome. I'm letting you have a little peek inside my grimoire because one of my subscribers, Marilyn, who was born on June 26th, was hoping to find some planetary influences, some gemstones, some herbs and oils where she could really tap into that energy. And she fits in with the sign of Cancer, ruled by the moon on a Monday, and ruby is one of the gemstones that works well with that. But her questions were, what's in all of those bags as far as herbs and oils, and where did you get the information from? Well, it was a lot of searching through books that I had, library books, and internet. And these pages that you're seeing here gives you the kind of information that I could turn to. And over here on the right, it's Monday to Wednesday with some sacred space information and smudging down there. And this page takes in Thursday to Sunday. And it really does help me out because it gives me the day of the week, it gives me the planet, it gives me ideas for essential oils and stones. And I'll zoom in so you can take a better look. So you can see up there on Monday that great for doing spells, homes, pets, family, incense, and such. And I could be drawing on silver and white, moonstones, and jasmine. And that's just enough to sort of get me started with whatever I'm doing. And I used that to help me create some of this. Now, if I zoom out, I'm going to flip the page and show you just a little bit more information. Now this page, or pages, hold a whole lot more. I'll zoom in a second, but just going to walk you through a little bit. Over here on the right, this takes in all the oils I could use for the chakras. Here are some of my blends for the elements. I did take a class in gemstones and massage. And so the instructor, Cynthia, gave me her feminine and masculine, the yin and yang oils that I could use for massage. And then in here is the tables of association. So that's where we get into the nitty-gritty of things, and I hope you can see it all. She did also suggest that she had some oils for the zodiac signs, and I made a record of those. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more because this one here is quite interesting. So here you can see it indicates herbs, magic that could be done, deities that could be called upon, color, and crystals. I don't understand why it says deity there. That's a misprint. So that should be the planetary influences right there. So on a Monday, it's suggesting fennel. It's good for healing. It's moon magic. The color should be silver or whites, even pale blues and violets for me. And the crystal suggestion is opal. Now, everybody's got to do their own thing and find their own way. But what Marilyn is looking for is the recipe for in my bag. So let's get right to that. Okay, now I had already started making some herbs and things that work with Monday on a moon day because I had so much magic I wanted to do that I needed a lot. So I thought I'd bring you back down here and let's get busy. So you can see there on my table, all my ingredients are out, and I will show you the recipe. This is for the Cancer bag, the herbs that were included, and the meditation stones that were suggested, and up here is the oils that I used. Now, so let's just dig in. The first one I'm going to grab is the hops. Now, hops is very good for healing. And when I think of the house of Cancer, I think of home bodies, healing. And I'm just going to grab a little bit and then we'll talk a little bit more. So I'm going to put some of that in there. So definitely for healing. And some people like to use this for sleep. They make little pillows for their bed and they combine it with lavender, sometimes some orange zest. But this is a little bottle where I like to mix things in. And as I say, I've always used the same bottle and the spoon, and I don't feel the need to wash this out because there's so much magic going in here. I want it to continue and bring that to the next mix that I'm making. So the hops are in there. And there's a lot of healing and calm ingredients going into this. So the next one is lavender. And it also brings healing and calmness. And we're going to put some of that in. And then the other one is sandalwood, which is very good to add. And it's sometimes nice to put the ingredients on the bottles. I'm trying to block some of the light. I'm having such good light coming through the window. I thought I'd work in it. So sandalwood is going in, and I like it that this one is chunky because it sits nicely in the candles when I put those together for the days of the week. So there's the sandalwood. That brings calmness. The next one is right behind here, and that's vervain. This brings blessing and love. You can see I've indicated their love spells. So we're going to put some of that in. Okay. And then we're going to go on to hyssop. Hyssop is great for consecrating water. And, you know, they think of water and the moon smell. I can't speak. Moon spells. So you bless your water for the altar work, and it clears the energy. So let's put some of that in. And it's quite sticky as far as appearance-wise. So the hyssop is in. And if you go to metaphysical stores, you're going to find different ingredients, and it is really fun to use. This one is horny goat. So I'm going to take some of that because it's all about sexuality. And when I think of the moon, there's lots of that emotions going on. So the highs, the lows, the moods, horny goat is going in. Also, when I think of the moon, and they did suggest looking for plants that were round, objects that were silvery, glistening, but I also found pumpkin because it is sort of round, robust, and it talks about abundance and drawing that abundance to you. And when I think of the pumpkin, I think of the cornucopia on the table. And if that was in a home, all that you would be sharing with others. So this is pumpkin spice, and I'm going to put some of that in. Now the next one might surprise you because it's sesame seeds. And when you think of magic, think of open sesame. And you're pulling back the veil like the high priestess, and you're able to see so much more. You're going deeper. So open sesame is going in. Then I could use this ground up rose if I wanted to, but I think I'm going to go into my pot of rose petals here, pull some out, and just sort of breaking it up, thinking of everything that's love, passionate, dreamy, tapping into our intuition. This is quite a little bud that I've got there, so I'm just going to rip that apart, let everything go in. Okay, so that is, now back to the pumpkin. It is fertility and abundance, And the sesame was for fertility as well and openness. And now we got the rose in there for love, caring, and gentleness. So that's fantastic. Now, just going to mix all that up in there. And I do, as I say, have a healthy dose of herbs in here because I might need a lot for all the candle magic I want to do. Now, I'm just going to suggest that if you can get some IKEA candles, I like them best. And I do like to take a black felt marker and write on this, and I'll zoom in. I like to put the zodiac sign I'm working with, which is Cancer. And it is moon magic. And sometimes that's all you need. Cancer, moon, oh, and maybe Monday to remind me that Mondays are a good day to work with moon magic. All right, so that's all on there. And the idea is that I could now take these herbs, push this down a bit. There we go. And start building energy into this candle for some magic. And I can toss it down here. Move that over. And I could just start shredding some of this even more and placing it on my candle. You don't want them too big because they might ignite. But definitely bringing some of that energy that we put into the herbs into this mix so we could tap into that loving, psychic, family-oriented, attentive Cancer energy. And if I want more information with my little book for that, I could see that they are self-assured, they're highly sensitive, they're loyal, they're kind, they're imaginative. And down here I even wrote Artemis, so I could tap into all of that. Now, so that's all there. And I'm not going to put a moonstone in. What I'm going to do is go into my little pot here where I have a stash of amethyst and quartz. And I often use these two when working with the High Priestess. And I think of the High Priestess definitely when I'm working with the moon energy on a Monday and the House of Cancer. So I'm going to put 2 amethysts down there and 1 quartz and put the rest back. And then I have another idea, so I have to prepare 2 candles here. So again, the candle goes down. I'll have to label it later, but I'm going to put some of this herbs and such. Now you could use a cauldron and you could really make this fine, but I like it kind of chunky so I can see it all. Then again, I'll go back to my crystals, and this one's a little bit different because this represents many of the moon phases. This one's going to represent the dark moon, and you'll get it once I get a little further along. So I'm going to put in 3 very dark amethyst into that. Now, what I'm also going to do is light a candle here, and it's going to be the silver one first. So I chose a silver candle because of the silverness of the moon, and I'm going to bring that over, and I'm going to let this adhere all the herbs and things. Once it starts dripping, there it goes. And try to bring a silvery glow to the area. If not, at least the essence of the silver is going in, and it's blanketing all the herbs that I put in. It's adhering the essential oil when I put that in as well, which I usually do, that matches the house of Cancer. So all of that has gone in. Now I'm also going to light the black candle because this is going to be something very exciting for me. Hang on a sec. That one out. I really want to do some shadow work. And I think working with the moon in the various phases is great, but I'd like to work with the dark moon. I know a lot of metaphysical people or witches aren't so keen on working with the dark moon. That's a time to rest. But if you've got tarot decks that tap into shadow work, then why not have a candle that you can use to tap into the dark moon? And I'm going to continue to bring all the energy of the black candle in and adhere all my herbs as well. Okay, so that is done. Now, the oil I did make ahead of time, but I will show you that the herbs can all go into a bottle like this. I like the screw cap ones best. The other ones with cork tops, it can take some of the essential oil essences away, and I don't want that. But these are the bottles that I like to use to hold the oils, and they do have a nice little top there so I can control how much oil is coming out, and it just pops in and out. So I can certainly, which I did here, put in some gemstones. I also put in a little tiny shell to bring in some moon energy. And so I put amethyst and quartz in here. Now I could certainly, before I lit the candle to do some magic, I could put in 3 drops of my Cancer zodiac sign oil. So I would make several of these. I can see myself getting very busy doing some moon magic with these and tapping into the energy, that loving, healing, kindness, Cancer energy. And then for this one, as I say, bring out the tarot decks that really tap into shadow work. Now I should mark this as Cancer. And I can put Monday, but I'll probably use this all the time when there is a dark moon, and we're heading into the dark moon phase now. So I'm going to put dark moon. But just having the black on it, and you can get as pretty as you want with your lettering. I'm trying to do it standing up. But also I was going to suggest, because I'm a Scorpio, I have some Pluto dark moon oil here. So I might dress my candles with that. But I have new moon and full moon oils ready to go that I could certainly dress my white one with. So I've given you the ingredients for making up your own herb mixture. You could even put this into a coffee grinder if you had one designated for herbs and make it a very fine powder. But I do like to see some of the chunks on mine and see the gemstones, and they just melt inside, and afterwards I can take the gemstones out and reuse them. So I have all the moon phases covered with just the herbs and the oil that we just made together. So it's fantastic. I really enjoy working with it, and I especially like working with each of these because they're ready-made to go. It takes a little bit of work to prepare them all, a little bit of research to understand each of the zodiac signs, but it is fun. And I got these on Amazon. I think I got the 4-inch pouches. Zoom back out again. Yeah, but no problem writing on the bags with the Sharpie. Maybe put a, as I said in one of the other videos, put a piece of old cardboard inside when you're writing and designing your fronts so that the ink doesn't flow through. And certainly you can get these on Amazon to label all your bottles. And keeping a variety of herbs on hand helps. I also found that these tags, you could write all the ingredients that you used on them and wrap them around the lids. They work fabulously. And when you're picking your oils, you know, if you take the lids off and you get 2 or 3 that you want to work with, get the other one here, hang on. The best way I found is to put 3 together and sort of hold it an inch or 2 away from your nose. If it smells right, fine. If you're smelling one more than the other, then back that bottle off a bit and try it again. And then you know that you back that oil off in drop amount too. So if these are both 3, maybe that's a 1. So start using your own knowledge and use your ability to intuit what works for you. Use that nose that you were gifted with and find the scents that appeal to you and just have fun. You can always change the recipe down the road. You can change the gemstones, you can change the oil, you can change the herbs, but you're making it your own. It's all prepared. And when you want to do your magic, you just jump right in. So everybody, I hope you had a great time watching. I thank you for returning to the station. And I hope you have some really good work ahead of you with the moon in whatever cycle it is. Blessings.